Here are the most recent deaths in the national news, as reported at Legacy.com in the second week of April 2025. Legacy.com is where you can find any obituary or publish an obituary in any local community in America and beyond. Actress Jean Marsh died April 13, 2025, at her home in London. She died of complications from dementia at the age of 90. She had memorable movie roles, playing villains in Return to Oz and Willow. Marsh is also being remembered for co-creating and starring in the British TV drama Upstairs, Downstairs, and for making several appearances on Doctor Who. Filmmaker Ted Kotcheff died April 10, 2025, in Nuevo Nayarit, Mexico. He died of heart failure at the age of 94. His career as a director included two very different hits: First Blood, which launched the Rambo action series, and the wacky comedy Weekend at Bernie's. Kotcheff is also being remembered for such movies as Wake in Fright, North Dallas 40, and The Apprenticeship of Duddy Kravitz. Pastor Joan Brown Campbell died March 29, 2025, in Chagrin Falls, Ohio. She died of complications from dementia at the age of 93. She was the first woman to lead the National Council of Churches, where she worked to unify many diverse congregations. Campbell is being remembered for bringing the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. to speak at her church, and for acting as an intermediary in the Elian Gonzalez case. Radio DJ Jed the Fish died April 14, 2025, at his home in Pasadena, California. He died of lung cancer at the age of 69. Born Edwin Gould, he was the popular afternoon DJ on the Los Angeles radio station KROQ for almost 35 years, from the 1970s through the 2010s. Jed the Fish is being remembered for helping shape the music scene of the 80s and 90s, as the first DJ in the US to play bands like Depeche Mode and Duran Duran. World War II veteran Joe Harris died March 15, 2025, at a hospital in Los Angeles at the age of 108. He joined the U.S. Army in 1941 and served with the 555th Parachute Infantry Battalion, nicknamed the Triple Nickels. His unit protected the U.S. from Japanese balloon bombs used to attack the U.S. mainland, and he was trained to fight fires. Harris is being remembered as the oldest known surviving World War II paratrooper. World War II veteran Vaughn died April 7, 2025, in Lexington, Kentucky, at the age of 106. He was a U.S. Army veteran who was stationed in Hawaii in 1941, helping to build barracks at Kaneohe Naval Air Station. He was the oldest known survivor of the bombing of Pearl Harbor, having witnessed the attack while working on the base. Drake is being remembered for going on to earn an engineering degree and work for General Telephone Company for nearly 40 years. Las Vegas casino owner and philanthropist Elaine Wynn died April 14, 2025, in Los Angeles at the age of 82. She and her husband Steve Wynn reshaped the Vegas landscape, founding such famous resorts as the Mirage, Treasure Island, and Bellagio. Wynn is also remembered for her civic leadership, serving on the Nevada State Board of Education and supporting the art world in both Las Vegas and Los Angeles. Actor Nicky Katt died April 8, 2025, in Burbank, California. He died by suicide at the age of 54. His most memorable roles included the bully Clint in Dazed and Confused and teacher Harry Sennett on Boston Public. Katt is also being remembered for movies such as Insomnia, Boiler Room, and A Time to Kill. TV game show host Wink Martindale died of lymphoma April 15, 2025, in Rancho Mirage, California, at the age of 91. He was the longtime face of the hit show Tic-Tac-Dough in the 1970s and 80s, and in 2007 was inducted into the American TV Game Show Hall of Fame. Martindale is also being remembered for his early years on Tennessee radio, when he was one of the very first DJs to become a friend and supporter of Elvis Presley. Six people died on April 12, 2025, when a private plane crashed in Columbia County, New York. Their names are Alexia Coyutas Duarte, Jared Groff, Corinna Groff, Michael Groff, Joy Saney, James Santoro. Here at Legacy, we also get to see all the incredible tribute stories published every day in memory of people you've never heard of before, but whose lives are so worth remembering. This week, those people include a lifelong lover of music who became a massage therapist in her 50s and didn't retire until she was 93. A beloved university professor whose research helped revolutionize the study of sound. A joyful mother from Philadelphia who treasured every opportunity to travel the world with her family, and a U.S. Army helicopter pilot who flew missions in Vietnam before returning home and going into real estate. At Legacy.com, any family can publish an obituary in honor of a loved one's memory, online and in local newspapers everywhere. Just visit Legacy.com and select your local community. Every week in the United States, flags are lowered to half-staff to honor the lives of Americans whose communities are mourning their loss. Here are the most recent half-staff memorial flag honors. Flags in Michigan have been lowered to honor the memory of former state representative Floyd Clack. Flags in Florida have been lowered to honor the memory of Walton County Deputy William May. Flags in Florida have also been lowered to honor the memory of Miami City Commissioner Manolo Reyes. Flags in Indiana have been lowered to honor the memory of volunteer firefighter, EMT, and Clay County Deputy Coroner Roy A. Smith, who died in the line of duty. Flags in Missouri have been lowered to honor the memory of Beaufort Leslie Fire Protection District firefighter Chevy Allen Anthony Gall. Flags in New York have been lowered to honor the memory of the more than 200 individuals who were killed in the tragic roof collapse at the Jet Set nightclub in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Flags in New York have also been lowered to honor the memory of former state representative John LaFalce. Flags in Illinois have been lowered to honor the memory of U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Jose Dueñez Jr. Flags in Virginia have been lowered in memory and respect of the 18th anniversary of the Virginia Tech shooting in which 32 people tragically lost their lives. Flags in Alabama have been lowered to honor the memory of former state representative Mary Stevens Zogby. In addition to featuring current deaths in the news, Legacy.com also honors the lives and legacies of notable people who died in the past. Here are some of this week's anniversaries. 25 years ago this week, artist and author Edward Gorey died at the age of 75. He was known for his eerie illustrations in books like The Gashly Crumb Tinies and The Doubtful Guest. 50 years ago this week, dancer, singer, and actress Josephine Baker died at the age of 68. She was a jazz-age sensation who went on to work as a spy for the French resistance during World War II and fight for civil rights in the United States. Actor and musician David Cassidy was born 75 years ago this week. He died in November 2017 at the age of 67. He was a star of the Partridge Family, who went on to have hit singles like Cherish and How Can I Be Sure? You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video on Legacy.com. You can also follow Legacy.com on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube to stay up to date on national news deaths.